century Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu said to see things in the seed, that is genius. Now picture this, a group of grandmothers gathering each year to select, process, and store traditional small grains, millet, rapoko, finger millet, pearl millet, all these in their revered community seed bank, preparing for whatever the future may bring. They clearly see the value in seeds for our food security tomorrow and our food sovereignty today. But accessing appropriate seed is not always easy for everyone.
At Hope Charitable Trust, we promote seed multiplication, focusing more on the local seeds and other open pollinated varieties. For any household to be food secure, it is important that they have the seed available so that they can plant right on time.
This episode dives into the world of seeds, the fundamental building blocks of agriculture. From preserving indigenous varieties to innovating new practices, seeds are crucial for community, food security, and resilience. We have guest presenters, Shane and Alport, with us. They took part in the Co-Create Change Storytelling Workshop program from which this podcast series was born, and will be bringing us through some of the stories of change. Alport and Shane.
Hi listeners, how are you today? My name is Ali. I'm from Bulawayo and I'm a video content creator and a development practitioner. Shian.
Thank you, Ali, and thank you for having me. I'm Shian, the Queen of Africa from the mountains from Zimbabwe.
I really love Shian's dressing, her jewelry, her dressing, so much color. She really is the Queen of Africa. So in this episode with her and Ali, we will hear from individuals who are creating impact through seed conservation, advocating for legislative reform around seeds, and experimenting with new varieties to overcome agricultural challenges. Over to you guys.
Thank you. So our journey with seed stories begins in Kufunda village, Ruwa, Mashonaland East, with our good friend Admire Gwatidzo, who emphasized the importance of preserving indigenous seeds.
One of the solutions is to look at, the best ways that we can save our indigenous seeds. Save them, find ways, that we can promote that more and more, and educate our community to save our seeds because they suit very well to our climate condition.
Admire's desire to indigenous seeds hints at their value in maintaining agriculture biodiversity and in cultivating more resilient food systems that are suited to the local environment's conditions. His advocacy for community education and preservation practices underscores the importance of grassroots support in safeguarding seeds.
Thank you, Shian, for sharing that excerpt from Admire's story. So Fezile Ncube from Hope Charitable Trust in Maswingo is another storyteller, and community seed-saving advocate who really emphasizes the importance of timely planting and seed saving to support local food security in her area.
Planting on time is very important for any farmer if he or she is to realize any good harvest. At Hope Charitable Trust, we promote seed multiplication, focusing more on the local seeds and other open pollinated varieties. For any household to be food secure, it is important that they have the seed available so that they can plant right on time. For our rural farmers, they don't need sophisticated things to make their seed banks. They just use empty bottles that they recycle.
Hope Charitable Trust's approach to seed saving by creating these small household and community seed banks spoken about there by Fezile is so important, I think, for ensuring our food security. By promoting practical, easy, and low-cost methods, Fezile's work really empowers marginalized farmers to manage their resources more effectively.
Yeah, thank you for bringing in the story of Hope Tariro. But let's remember that this age-old practice of local seed saving has been actively discouraged by the big agri-food corporations and governments around the whole world over the past half century or more. Next, let's hear from Herbert Chivongodze in Kadoma, Mashonaland West, who discusses the impact of Zimbabwe's Seed Act of 1965 on seed distribution and farmer access.
The Seed Act governs the selling, distribution, and reproduction of seeds in Zimbabwe. It is 2024 and we have seen several seasons of low to average rainfall in Zimbabwe. Food security is becoming a concern both in urban and rural context in Zimbabwe. Food shortages are also common. In the meantime, the high price of seed, which is a 10 kg packet of maize seed selling for US30, makes it very difficult for farmers and families to procure large quantities of seed for planting. So in 2021, I became part of a youth movement where we started to engage policymakers on amendment of the Seed Act. Our motivation was to support farmers to go back to indigenous knowledge systems of seed preservation and breeding to be able to feed and sustain their communities. As a result of our efforts in 2023, the President of Zimbabwe put the Seed Act on the agenda for debate in Parliament.
Herbert's involvement in policy advocacy highlights the urgent need for seed legislation reform. His story illustrates how changing outdated laws can improve seed accessibility and support more resilient and climate-smart agriculture. We want our food systems to be better adapted to the local conditions, and seeds must be more affordable, available, and appropriate at the community and household level.
That's a very inspiring story there from Herbert. Thanks for bringing that up, Shian. You know, it reminds me of the power of young voices, and I really honor those courageous farmers and practitioners who really listen to what is needed on the ground and raise their voices to try and promote positive change. Another story from a young and courageous woman that also reminds us again about the role of youth, energy, and experimentation. Sandra Muzama's story shares her experience of rainbow seeds and how experimenting with new varieties has changed her household food system that particular year. And in the process, it also changed her mindset for many years to come.
So I saw on Facebook there was a particular shop that was selling rainbow seeds, and I was like, rainbow seeds. I took an interest in that. Out of curiosity, I went, bought the seeds, prepared a patch of land around my house, and then I planted those seeds just out of curiosity and as experimental. Lo and behold, 2 weeks, 3 weeks down the line, I had a nice green patch of land that my plants were growing. And I actually managed to grow some tomatoes, peppers, carrots, and leafy vegetables. It was a good experience because people were actually coming to take from my garden. And it gave me an idea that we could actually, as people, we could actually grow our own foods and flourish if we can be curious enough, if we can be experimental enough, and if we can have the drive for it.
There you have it. So Sandra's story also gives us a glimpse of the power of experimentation and innovation in agriculture. Her personal success with rainbow seeds particularly demonstrates how new approaches, that is, learning by doing and not blindly following the mindset and conventions that one has been taught, can lead to improved food security. I mean, even in very challenging environments.
Thank you so much, Ali. But remember that the economic barriers to seed access are significant, especially in regions facing food insecurity. Addressing this issue is critical for building more sustainable food systems and livelihoods.
I totally agree. And also promoting policies that reduce seed costs and support local seed production, preservation, and ownership. You know, we can help farmers overcome economic challenges and ensure that they have access to the seeds they need for successful farming.
Thank you, Ali and Shane, for joining us today. It has been inspiring to hear excerpts of these stories from the field, from Admaya's advocacy for preserving indigenous seeds to Sandra's innovative use of seed varieties. It's clear that both supporting seed conservation practices and fostering innovation are essential to building resilient food systems.
Yes, definitely. Seeds are indeed the building blocks of agriculture. We need policies that support seed sovereignty, with laws and incentives that encourage the preservation and safeguarding of indigenous seeds, and reform restrictive, punitive seed laws so that communities can freely access our seed heritage.
We need to increase awareness of locally adapted, open-pollinated varieties of seed banks so that communities have access to resources they need and are not planting high-risk crops that require heavy inputs.
We should all harness modern communication technologies to promote community seed banking.
And promote education about value addition and processing techniques to minimize seed loss. We also need more seed-related research into small grains, indigenous fruits, and preparation biofertilizer and natural pest control to enhance germination and propagation outcomes.
And finally, we also need to promote experimentation and innovation. Let's respect our ancestors and elders, but also the energy of youth. By doing so, we can ensure that our agricultural systems are diverse, resilient, and capable of meeting future environmental and social challenges.
Thank you for joining us on this exploration of seeds, the building blocks of agriculture. You can listen to more inspiring stories of change and get further information by visiting our website. Check it out by searching Co-Creating Sustainable Food Systems Story Map, or follow us on YouTube.
Yes, and if you found this episode insightful, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it. Stay tuned for more food system stories and solutions to co-create a healthier world.
Until next time, remember, seeds are the foundation of our food systems and our future. Let's nurture, share, and protect them.
This was Rudocha Kanyuka
and Sydney Mangweka.
On behalf of the Co-Create Change team, thank you for listening.